The second issue is...
Sounds like hooey.
Yeah. The second, I think the word of the week is malarkey. The second issue is, and this is a little bit more, I think, serious, but it's a concern that frequently comes up. It comes up in mutation carriers and elsewhere. There seems to be a little bit of a mixed feeling about the value of mammography. There was, of course, the debate in the public arena in the last couple of years about the right age for doing it. There's a quieter debate about when to stop doing it in terms of aging. There's a concern about mutation carriers perhaps being exposed, and there was a specific question from the audience about the perception that at least one member of our audience has that the risk of radiation from mammography is greater than the reward. Can you comment on this notion?
Yeah, I think as a clinician, I just can't help but think that every day I see patients that I think are helped by having their cancers detected mammographically. And I know all the statistics that might say that that the benefit in terms of your chance of dying of breast cancer if you have annual mammography is not that great. It's maybe a 30% reduction across the board. It's only for women over the age of 50 that the benefits for women between the ages of 40 and 50 haven't been proven. But I don't know. I just can't help but think that I see patients every time I go to clinic that have been helped by having a mammogram. That it's better for me to have found that cancer early. That maybe she wouldn't have died of the cancer, but maybe she would have had to have chemotherapy, or she'd have to have more radical surgery. So I don't think there's any question that mammography is important and should be encouraged. Now, when you start mammography, we used to do baseline mammograms at the age of 35, and then annual mammograms after the age of 40. I think pretty much we've abandoned that. We've recognized that isn't really good policy. But certainly if you're at high risk, certainly if you have a BRCA1 or 2 mutation, or you have a strong family history of breast cancer, that you're going to start mammography earlier. Certain other risk factors are going to lead you to start mammography earlier. And then if you're at baseline risk, whether maybe you should put off mammograms until you're 50. Well, that's fine. But I do think that mammography is valuable, and I just wouldn't underestimate it.
So I can underscore this in a different way. I was at a meeting last week with investigators, clinical investigators from really a global community of low and middle income countries. And their assertion was the following, and the clinicians and some of the investigators in the room will appreciate this. They said, in some ethnic communities around the world, we see more locally advanced triple-negative breast cancers. And what quickly became apparent to some of us in the world from the UK and Western Europe and the US was they are actually getting a perceptive difference in what they see because they're not looking for what we're looking for. They have young populations, so they see young people. The countries have pyramids of very few older people. And they're not doing any screening in most of those countries, so they don't see cancer until it's advanced, until the triple-negative cancer grows out. And I'm just making the point that all the countries in the world that have had steep declines in death rate from breast cancer have had screening programs put into place. And while there's no doubt that there could be some overzealousness to treatment, you have to look at the totality of the numbers. A falling death rate is an unassailable marker of success.